Hello and welcome to this short video tutorial on using the Rights-of-Way as Habitat Geospatial Database Reporting Tool. This tutorial is intended for organizations who have already contributed data to the database and wish to export it for the purposes of reporting to the Monarch Butterfly Candidate Conservation Agreement with Assurances, or CCAA, or to simply create a summary report of monitoring data. This video is part of a series we've created to help current and prospective geospatial database users better navigate the database. Additional video tutorials can be found by selecting Tutorials and Resources and then Tutorials on the Rights-of-Way as Habitat Working Group Geospatial Database website menu. The nationwide Monarch Butterfly CCAA is a voluntary pre-listing tool for non-federal land managers to proactively commit to conservation work supporting the monarch butterfly, which is currently being considered by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for listing under the Endangered Species Act. In exchange, organizations enrolled in the Monarch Butterfly CCAA receive regulatory assurance that no additional requirements or restrictions will be put on them beyond what they have voluntarily committed to. One important part of the Monarch CCAA is biological effectiveness monitoring, which is used to track the net benefit of conservation measures and inform adaptive management strategies to improve monarch butterfly habitat. Biological effectiveness is achieved by meeting minimum density of milkweed stems per acre and/or a minimum % coverage of potentially flowering nectar plants. These required metrics are dependent on your monitoring region. Adaptive management is triggered when biological effectiveness thresholds are not met, but does not indicate non-compliance with the agreement. More information about monitoring requirements and adaptive management can be found by logging into the Rights-of-Way as Habitat Working Group website. So I'll log in here. You can scroll down to access the Monarch CCAA Toolkit. Here you can find a Monarch CCAA video tutorial that covers effectiveness monitoring and adaptive management in greater detail under the Video Tutorials tab, and by scrolling down to the video titled Effectiveness Monitoring and Adaptive Management. The Generate CCAA Report tool allows you to run summary reports of your monitoring data consistent with these requirements in order to streamline CCAA compliance reporting. I've pulled a sample report generated by the tool. There are two tests for biological effectiveness. The first test considers only basic required data by region. For example, in the Midwest Northeast region, this is a simple yes or no indication whether 6 or more milkweed stems are present per monitoring plot. However, your organization may also collect additional optional data, including actual milkweed stem counts and actual nectar plant % cover. If so, the second test considers this additional data and performs a 90% confidence interval to determine whether monitoring data satisfies biological effectiveness thresholds. The second option offers more flexibility as compared to the first test. On the second page of the PDF report, you'll find a summary of acres, pollinator scorecard points, sites, and management areas by program. Programs allow users to associate one or more conservation measure, such as seeding and planting, conservation mowing, or targeted herbicide treatment, with pollinator scorecard points or land areas for ease of tracking habitat quality, conservation strategies, or special projects. The CCAA reporting tool also generates a CSV file, which aggregates data from individual monitoring plots relevant to the Monarch CCAA. This includes implemented conservation measures, milkweed abundance, and nectar resource cover. This may be helpful if your organization wants to run additional data filters or manipulate the monitoring data in other ways. So in order to access this tool, your organization must be registered as a premium user. If your organization isn't already a premium user, you can open database user levels, which is pictured here under the Getting Started tab on the Geospatial database website, where you can find some more information. You'll also need access to Esri's ArcGIS Pro software, which is available to all account administrator and data manager organizational accounts. You can follow the directions provided in our Geospatial Database User's Guide in order to download ArcGIS Pro if you have not done so already. So now we will go through the demo using the tool itself in ArcGIS Pro. So you can start by opening ArcGIS Pro on your desktop computer. You'll want to make sure that you're logged into the account administrator or data manager account associated with the database, which you can find in the top right. I'm already logged in. This login is the same as your ArcGIS Online credentials. There are a variety of data management tools available by opening up the Row Tools project, and this can be done by selecting Settings in the bottom left corner, selecting Open, Portal, and then navigating to your organization's management group. In this case, I will be in Demo Management Group, and then double-clicking on the Row Tools project. You'll want to make sure that the tasks pane is visible to you. This should automatically load in this left panel here. If you don't see it, you can open it up by selecting View in this top menu and then Tasks here. In the Tasks pane, you can expand Generate Reports and Spreadsheets to open Run CCAA Report. They'll just need a second to load. So first you will select a title for your report. I will go ahead and use the default, but whatever you put here will eventually become the file name. Next, you can use the drop-down list to select your organization ID. There should only be one option here, unless your account is part of more than one subsidiary or you're a contractor working for multiple organizations. Next, you click the Output folder to select a destination for the report. So this is where the report will be saved. I've made one already on my desktop titled Demo. Then you expand Filters. If you scroll down, you'll see Evaluation Year. This is the calendar year in which the monitoring was conducted. You will be able to run separate reports for individual years. So I'll select 2021. Then you'll want to identify whether monitoring is taking place in the Midwest Northeast region or the West-South region. You can find which region you operate by going to Figure 6.1 in the Monarch CCAA, which is available in the CCAA Toolkit. So I'll leave that as Midwest East. Please note that if your organization spans both regions, that you'll need to run the reporting tool separately for each region. Next, your organization may distinguish baseline monitoring, which is monitoring occurring before conservation measures are in place. This is as opposed to post-activity monitoring, which is monitoring after conservation measures have been in place. By default, this box is not checked, so check this box if you want to include baseline monitoring data in your reports. And if your organization doesn't distinguish between baseline and post-activity monitoring, you can just ignore this option. The reporting tool is geared towards summarizing monitoring data associated with programs. So check this box to include data that is not yet associated with a program. And then below, you can select specific programs or exclude programs based on your reporting goals. By default, all of these programs are selected. And then finally, you'll want to select Run to generate the report. This may take anywhere from a few seconds to a couple minutes. And after you see that the tool has been successfully executed, you can close this and navigate to the folder that you identified at the beginning to open the PDF and CSV files. All right, thank you for watching this CCAA Reporting Tool tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to email our team at rohwg@uic.edu.